Hello and welcome back.
Thanks for joining us for another episode.
We are still in the boatyard, as you can see.
And today we are putting more things back on our mast, and we also share some of the hidden costs that have been involved in the jobs that we're doing at the moment.
So let's get into that.
We're an Australian family that set off on an adventure of a lifetime. We hope these little videos make you smile and inspire you to chase your dreams. Subscribe to join us and our travels as we share our life on the sea.
Certain things you can replace, and the tangs weren't on the list because they seemed alright. There was no cracking. I'd say the tangs may have been done at some stage. So a little polished, they look pretty good. I can't see any cracks. I obviously haven't dye tested them, but they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. Polish them up and stop them from corroding and rusting away.
Our last trip to Arizona.
Yeah, we got a little buff just to buff up all the little bits and pieces that we're not replacing.
We would love to replace all the pieces, but unfortunately we're not in a position to, so all the things that we can't afford to replace, Lee is going to save with this machine.
A little bit of elbow grease.
How much was that buffer and how easy is it to use, honey?
About 130 bucks.
From Harbour
you
Freight.
could use a grinder. It's just easier and safer, and there's a lot to do, so there's lots of pieces and hardware all over the boat that we're going to clean up. It's going to be good. I've only got 2 wheels and I've been using a coarse compound, and then there is another compound after the green one. I think it's white for really highly polished. Tidying it up alright. The original finish on this is quite rough. It's sort of actually, I don't think they actually had a highly polished finish to begin with. It's almost like a mill finish on there. So I've actually just used the angle grinder with a bit of 120 sandpaper on there just to tidy it back. And then I ran the rotary over it on 220 and then 600 grit. And then onto the coarse compound and then the green compound to finish. Many different steps and ways to do it. You could spend all day on one piece and you could have it like an absolute mirror, but I'm just doing enough to get it nicely sealed up and looking tidy.
Well, you're doing a great job there, baby.
Thanks, darling.
Well, he's got one more to go, one bolt and one more tang, but the ones he's done, babe, they look amazing.
A bit of elbow grease.
It's impressive. You're an impressive guy.
That's all you need. There's a little one of these and you just rub away at it.
You must have been rubbing around here for a very long time. Is that why we can't get out of the boatyard?
I wanted a good inspection of them too, so I could polish it up and see if we had any hairline cracks or that, but these look really good. There's the before and after. We'll get those back on and we'll be ready for our rigging that's arriving probably at the end of next week. No, it might even be sooner than that.
It got made yesterday. Very exciting.
How they look, Belle?
Okay, this is the Duralac going on. This creates a protective barrier between the stainless steel and the aluminium.
That's it, darling.
It's a very nice colour, I like it.
No dissimilar metals here.
Yeah, you do have dissimilar metals, that's why you're putting that on.
No problems from the dissimilar metals, should I say.
So this is the first tang we're putting on. It's polished them all up, is inspected, they all look fantastic, which is good news, we didn't have to replace them. And it will be going right here. Our rigging is all made. It will be on its way today or tomorrow. That is very exciting.
It's not just any rigging, darling. This is like the best rigging in the business.
Absolutely. And where does this best rigging in the business come from?
Comes from the land down under, guys.
Of course it does. All the best things come from the land down under, honey.
They do.
So big shout out to Hammer Marine. They have supplied us with the best rigging in the entire world, so we are super excited because our adventures can continue safely and we'll be able to go to all the nooks and crannies on the ocean knowing that our rig is strong and we are safe. Ready for any conditions, honey.
That's it, but I'm going to have to get Sarah to cut that camera because she's going to put this Duralac over all these nuts for me, or screws.
I'm going to be doing?
So I'm covering all, well, Sarah's going to be doing this, she's covering all the bolts with Duralac. Obviously dissimilar metals again, the stainless steel on the aluminium mast, and we're also going to be putting, once this tacks off a little bit, we're also going to be using the blue, which is your semi-permanent Loctite on everything too, so.
We'll show you when we put it all together. Okay, we're back. All the screws have gone in, he's just tightening them all up. Our lovely pretty green stuff. And there's some pretty blue stuff. The very top of our mast, so the top tang.
I'll show you in a minute if you can actually notice on these there's a little dot on each one. So this takes like 2 seconds to do. Cut yourself a little punch like this, and you can see that they come with a little indent on them. So what I do is I go like that, right next to the dot, like so. Now what this allows me to do, so when I come up for a rig inspection, I know that if these two are all lined up, nothing's worked itself loose. I can even do it with the side here. I can put a mark on the side of my nut there, and then I put one on here, and they're just witness marks. So I know now when I climb the mast after heavy weather or whatever, just an annual inspection, I can just look through and I can go good. I can see nothing's moved, and then I can inspect for cracks, check my pins, check my cotter pins, and then move down to the next one. It just makes it a lot quicker and easier just doing a quick inspection and making sure everything's good. On to the next one. There it is, guys. So what we have is we have our Nylac, which is actually acting as a barrier for the dissimilar metals, and then we put our Duralac. This is Duralac green.
3 more to go.
Day one of putting the mast back together. More tangs, running backstay, a few things up this morning before we started. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Hey honey, you got the spreaders around the right way?
I really don't know.
Taj, what are you doing today?
I don't know fully yet. Wire brush or something.
You're just prepared.
Yeah.
Prepared for whatever happens. He's got his safety outfit on. What are you doing, Belle?
Pulling apart the winch and resurfacing it.
So these are the winches that are off the mast.
Yep, this one's not too bad. The other one's really sad, but we'll see what Bella can do with them.
Pulled it apart. These are all the pieces that I need to remember, so I can put it back. Otherwise it won't work. So let's see how shiny I can get it.
These bags are full of nuts and bolts and washers from our chain plates. We are getting brand new chain plates thanks to Schaefer Marine. The next task was to see if any of these stainless steel nuts and bolts are okay to reuse. We would obviously love to just replace all of them, but we also like to save money where we can. It's another day here in the boatyard, and we are still putting things back on the mast. Yesterday we got a winch on, we put the track on. I can't remember what else we did. Bella is pulling apart another winch today.
This is from the main mast. It's just a normal old winch.
You're gonna make it work better though.
Yep. Clean it up a bit.
That's the before.
No, this is the after.
This is the after. Super shiny.
It's super old.
Yesterday's was a better one. Talking about shiny though, what's Mr. Shiny doing over here?
Oh look, you know, it's the Schaefer rope guides here.
Look at that.
They're probably 40 years old and they're not even rusted.
Schaefer Marine, I mean, you can't go wrong. One of the best marine brands in the industry. We love Schaefer. Bella continued to service the winch, and we came up with a solution for our rusty old nuts and bolts. Taj is going to inspect and save what he can, and the ones that have cracks or we can't use, we'll replace them. Lee and I continue to slowly put the winches, the line guides and the cleats back on the mast. So these are things you don't think about so much when you're replacing, like, so we were like, oh, we'll replace all the chain plates. And so what you have to do is you have to replace all of these, the bolts, the washers and nuts. And they're not cheap. In the scheme of things, they're not that expensive, but when you've been refitting a boat for a year and you're scrounging for dollars at the end of it, they are expensive. So what we decided to do, we are replacing all of these because these are very structurally important, we feel. What we're going to do, and what Taj has been doing today, is he has been buffing these up and getting them back to shiny, and he's going to do the same with the washers, and we'll use the best of the ones that are in there. There's a lot of hidden little costs when you're refitting a boat, and if you are doing it on a budget, there's things like this that can really throw you out if you don't take it into account.
It's hundreds and hundreds of dollars of stainless steel.
Yeah, so when we were like, yeah, we'll replace the chain plates, no problem. Even though we were getting sponsored by Schaefer Marine, which we are super duper grateful for. They're an incredible company. There's still some costs, and throughout this whole entire refit there has been hidden little costs that all add up. So, you know, it's all possible. It's just, if you are going to take on a project like this, really take that into account. All the little things.
At the same time, like if you're just going to cruise around the bay, like I always say, you don't need to worry about half the stuff we're worrying about. But when you're crossing oceans, you're only as good as your weakest link. In this case, we've got a brand new rig, everything's serviced, and then it come down to the chain plate bolts, and we just had to replace all them. I found slight cracks on them, like really just hairline ones. And
look, we were going to not replace all of them. We thought we'll save what we can, but at the end of the day, they all look pretty terrible.
We just didn't want to risk it.
And yeah, like Lisa said, some of them are cracked, so that is a scary thought. I think the order, we put all the bolts on the order, and it was up to near 700 US. It was a lot for us, so just taking out the washers and the nuts, it brought it down a little bit. And yeah, we've just been slowly purchasing stainless steel throughout the month and trying to figure it all out. You gotta do what you gotta do, and we're making it happen. There are definitely hidden costs. Look at this little setup that Lee's got going on here. Brilliant. All right, it's another end of another long day, and maybe an end of an episode. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys hanging here while we are refitting and not adventuring. You are bloody legends. So hopefully it won't be too much longer when we're back in the water. I've got the mast to still go back on. Once the masts are on, the shit should start flowing. Like I said, thank you so much, and we hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.